Oh, look at this! So this, guys, is an ancient Nabatean settlement dating back to around 3rd century BC. And it was actually on the incense route. So the incense route was actually a trading route that came from Oman, goes through Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Jordan and the Negev desert. And it's where they traded herbs, spices, frankincense and myrrh for the Roman Empire. Now, one of the most famous Nabatean cities is Petra. And Petra is actually maybe around 100 miles away across the border into Jordan. So this was on the same caravan, camel caravan route as Petra, which is really interesting. And the whole settlement is actually built into the rock, and you can actually go inside, which is what I'm going to do now.
Avdat was station number 62 on the incense route, which extended from the Arabian Peninsula to the port of Gaza, and from there to all parts of the Roman Empire. In year 106 AD, the Nabatean king died and his kingdom was seized by the Roman Empire.
This place is just an absolute maze of caverns and different rooms built inside the rock. Now, I'm not actually 100% certain about this, but I believe that places like this were actually built before Petra, because these sort of places made the real money, which allowed the Nabatean king to expand and build Petra. You know what makes this place even better? Is the fact that I've got it all to myself because I got up early this morning. There was absolutely nobody here. It's perfect for filming it. So there's actually not much here to tell you about the rooms. Maybe this was like living quarters or something like that. And just down here, can you see that? That looks like some sort of grindstone where they'd been grinding. Maybe that's where they were grinding the herbs. No way. There's actually some paintings on the wall here. Can you see that? I don't know how old they are. I mean, somebody could have just come in here and painted on the walls, but they look pretty old. You can actually still see the chisel marks.
During the Byzantine period in the 4th century, Avdat grew into a large village with cisterns, agriculture, storerooms to hold produce and workshops to process it. In the early 7th century, a huge earthquake struck the area, destroying Avdat and leading to its abandonment.
I'm just taking 5 minutes in the shade because the sun is just relentless today. So this is probably a good opportunity to let you know how you can actually get here. So from Beersheba or Mitzperamon, which are in the two opposite directions, this is probably around central, you catch the bus number 64 or the bus number 65 and it is 13 shekels to get here. If you're coming from Jerusalem, you'll have to go from Jerusalem to Beersheba and then Beersheba to here. It's super simple, you'll figure it out. And if you're unsure, just do what I do, just ask somebody at the ticket office and they'll just tell you which way to go. So yeah. Well, that was definitely a lot of fun. I would highly recommend checking this out if you're in the area. But I think that's me done here. I'm going to go and grab a coffee, give my camera equipment a bit of a clean because it's quite dusty in here, and then head to the next national park, which is just maybe 10 minutes down the road. Alright, after much walking round and exploring, I've actually found a place that's open and serves coffee. And I've got to tell you guys, the public transport here in Israel is fantastic. It's cheap, it's super easy to get around, but you've also got to remember that the country is roughly only the size of Wales, so it's quite small, so you can pretty much get anywhere on the buses. Transport here is super cheap, but everything else seems to be really quite expensive. So the guy in the coffee shop back there was like, "Where are you from?" And I said, "England," and he was like, "We don't get many visitors here from England." And it's not the first time I've heard that actually, because even in Tel Aviv, the people in the hostel were telling me that it's quite unique to get a person from England visiting Israel. And it's a bit of a shame really, because it comes down to what we perceive Israel as because of the media. And I've said it before, but we get the media as a way of distorting everything. I mean, this is a beautiful country. I think I underestimated this a little bit. I'm almost out of water and I'm wearing a black jumper. Stupid, Andy, stupid. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere now. I'm going to have to turn back, I think. I've gone and done it again. I'm officially lost in the desert this time. But I can hear something coming, so hopefully they can give me directions. So my plan was to hitchhike back, but I seem to have wandered the wrong direction and I've completely lost the road. And I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. I mean, this place is just barren. I've got to be super careful here. I keep finding these little desert snails. I mean, there's loads of them. I think I've just spotted a road in the distance. I'm just approaching what seems to be an abandoned, burnt out car. That's a little bit disconcerting. That right there looks like an oasis to me. It's actually a nice wooded area this to take shelter, and there's some pine cones here, and if you ever needed to, they're actually really good for starting fire. Hello. That is fucking precious.